Hey everybody, today I'm going to go over how to really scale your business to business business essentially, right? So I want to talk about some of the things that hold back your business from really scaling. I think that's very important, and I want to teach you some of the ways that you can get around those problems, right? So a lot of times when you're in business to business, and I'll give you some examples of industries I'm discussing. So manufacturing, trucking and logistics, anything cleaning, any type of business that's serving other businesses and has to wait 30, 60, 90 days to get paid. Now, let's go into what the challenge is. The challenge is when you're waiting 30, 60, 90 days to get paid, although most people are probably waiting 30 to 60 days, what winds up happening is if you take on more jobs or you take on larger jobs, you're fronting and you're putting in money to get the inventory, to pay your employees, to pay insurances, rent. Basically, all your business expenses have to be covered, okay, to produce certain output, to haul loads certain places. You know, you're paying for fuel, you're paying for, the drivers. And so what happens is it's very hard to scale that way because you're always laying out additional money to bring on more jobs, and then your business is waiting 30, 60, 90 days to be paid. It almost makes it impossible to scale. So a lot of people take on debt they shouldn't take on, and then the payments wind up crippling them. So I want to show you guys and show everybody listening how to expand your business if you're serving the business or if you're serving other businesses or you're serving the government, right? And I think that's so important because if you're waiting 30, 60 days to get paid, it's going to be a lot harder to scale, all right? And the idea in any business is to grow it and grow the profit margins and serve your clients as best as you can. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. There's a program, it's called invoice factoring, right? And what that allows you to do is it allows you to get paid almost the same day as long as the services are being delivered and you send that invoice. So as soon as you send your client that invoice, instead of waiting 30 or 60 or even 90 days to get paid, you can get paid the next day right after you submit that invoice. So here's what happens. All right, let's say that for easy numbers, let's say that you have a $100,000 invoice that you're gonna go and give because you just shipped product, okay? Well, if you're in manufacturing and you shipped the product or the inventory to a client, and now they're going to wait 30 days to pay you because that's what's on the invoice, it kind of ties up a lot of your cash. So the way around that really is to do invoice factoring. So you submit the invoice, and then the factor will advance you anywhere between 80 and 90%, sometimes as high as 95% of what that invoice is. So the very next day, those funds are placed in your account. And then what happens is, as soon as your client pays the factor, because they pay the factor directly, the factor releases the reserve, which was at 10, call it 20 to 5% of whatever the invoice was, back to you, and they take a fee. That fee is typically anywhere between 1% and 4% each month. Now, why is this important? What does that allow you to do? Well, it allows you to bring on more jobs or larger jobs and allows you to scale the business, right? So let's break down. The advance rate is basically the advance the factor is willing to pay you for the invoice, and their fee is just usually 1% to 4%. And I'm sure that most businesses today have much higher margins than 1% to 4%. So what'll happen is instead of doing maybe 2 or 3 invoices or jobs like that, now you can do, 10 or 20 jobs like that and grow exponentially and scale exponentially. And that's the point of invoice factoring, right? And some really cool industries that we've come into play with and we've designed programs for, actually, one of them is Amazon sellers. So besides manufacturing, if you're selling on Amazon, we can actually factor your sales. This way you can replenish the store and you don't have to wait, 15 days to get paid by Amazon. And what that does is that allows you to sell a lot more goods on Amazon, right? Now, let's go into the process. The process really is pretty quick and pretty simple. What we need is a one-page application. We're going to need your articles of incorporation. We're going to need a detailed accounts receivable report. We're going to need the 2 largest customer contracts that you have. And we're going to need, I would just tell you, send in 3 months of business bank statements just in case. We're going to need a sample invoice. And then from there, we'll get back to you in 1 to 2, maybe max 3 business days with a term sheet. You sign the term sheet, they underwrite everything, and then you're set up. And once you're set up, all you have to do is submit the invoice, right? And then the very next day, you have 24-hour funding, and your company is funded, right? This will allow you to grow and scale. The Amazon invoice factoring program works a little bit differently. If that's something that you're interested in, you can always inquire about it. We have a big waiting list for that program. But this is the program that you need to use if you want to scale your business, right? So it's good for anybody that's in business to business or business to government, okay? If you're providing a good or service to somebody that you wait 30 to 60, 90 days to get paid, right? That's the type of, after the service is rendered, right? So the goods have to be delivered before you invoice, or the services have to be rendered before you send that invoice. As long as that is the case, this is the program for you. Now, what are some of the benefits besides allowing you to grow and scale the business? It's really not dependent on your personal credit like other financing programs are. It's not dependent on your business credit either. It's really not dependent on your cash flow, right? So a lot of times if you're trying to get a line of credit, an SBA loan, even a working capital advance, they're looking at your cash flow, your industry type, your credit, both business and personal, your time in business. Invoice factoring doesn't work like that. Invoice factoring, they look at your client's business credit. So if you're only in business 6 months, or you're in business a year, or you have bad credit or bad cash flow, it's not going to stop you from using this program to grow and scale your business, which is a huge advantage over the other programs. Now, this isn't for somebody selling to consumers, right? This isn't somebody that is selling, retail. It's for anyone that's selling to business owners or the government. So I hope this clears up a lot of questions that you have. If this is something that you're interested in, please just drop us, you can leave a comment on this video, or you can email us. We really want to help you. I think this is a great program that a lot of people don't know about, right? And we've been setting up a lot of clients, and we see it every single time we set somebody up. Their business has grown, it's scaled, it's smoothed out any cash flow issues they may have had. So if you have questions, drop them in the comments, and I'm glad you guys took the time to learn about this today.